how am I going to prove that? I'm going to prove that through the rapture, that my dharma, my path, my way, my system is real, is authentic. It's the original dharma coming from our Father in heaven. It's the original dharma coming from heaven itself. So I will prove that through the rapture, through my own personal rapture. I will prove that. So when I prove that, you can follow my path. You can do what I have done, unveil this reality, and realize emptiness. Gain your wisdom body, wash yourself clean with the word, cleanse your body with truth. Completely drop the veil of this reality, realize emptiness, then rapture and go to heaven during the tribulation. So you can rapture. So there's a pre-tribulation rapture, and there's rapture during the tribulation as well. So a lot of people will make it to heaven. A lot of people will understand. A lot of people will get it, and a lot of people will understand. Once we drop the satanic veil, that is key. You have to drop the satanic veil. So how do you drop the satanic veil of deception? Through the Prajnaparamita's perfection of wisdom. And once you drop the veil, emptiness is right there. So it's just like right there. It's just obvious. So everything is made simple by Father. Like I said, direct application. When you're thirsty, drink water. When you're hungry, eat food. Solves the problem. So Buddhism is basically considered medicine to a disease. Medicine, cure for a disease. So if deception is a disease, what is the cure? Perfection of wisdom is the cure for that disease. And how do you get to heaven? If you're stuck down here, how do you go to heaven? By realizing sunyata, emptiness. You go to heaven. You leave the samsaric world. And that's what it says in the Buddhist teachings as well. Once you realize emptiness, you're freed from samsara. So that Buddhist concept of once you realize emptiness, you're freed from this dualistic suffering world. That is in reality as well. Because it's like, once you realize emptiness, you actually literally rapture and go to heaven. So what they have been teaching in Buddhism for a very long time is directly applicable during the end times, because once you realize emptiness, you are freed from samsara. You're freed from this dualistic world. That means, how are you freed? You rapture and go to heaven. So it's all written down. We are practicing the real dharma, and that can be proven through our rapture. And you can do what I have done. Everything I have already said what to do, how to do it. I've explained the entire system through my writing, through my story, through my speaking, through my experiences, everything that I have been through, and everything that I have interacted with. I have given testimony for all of that, so you can deeply study my work. And that is the work of perfection of wisdom and realizing emptiness and giving testimony of that, and and rapturing and going to heaven, because that's what it says in Buddhism. Once you realize emptiness, once you see emptiness, you are freed from this dualistic world. So that's what it takes. So it's not like Jesus is just coming to save me, or Jesus is just like saving us. It's not that. It's not that easy. We have to go through the process, and we have to see emptiness for ourselves. We have to do a lot of work. We have to do a lot of investigation. We have to study and study and study Satanism, study transgenderism. We have to study the cloning, bill droning. We have to study the celebrities. We have to study the politicians. We have to study all of these characters that live in our world. We have to study the scriptures, know the beast system. We really have to drop the satanic veil, and then you see emptiness. When you drop all the veils, you see emptiness. And when you see emptiness, you are freed from this world. And that's the Buddhist system. It is like literally written down. Once you see emptiness for yourself, you see emptiness, you leave this place and go to heaven. You are freed from samsara once you see emptiness. So it's a direct thing. So you have to do it. It's not like someone's just going to come here and save you and you have no idea where you're going. It could be Satan, it could be Jesus, it could be anyone. How do you know? You can only know that your path is authentic because you saw emptiness and now you're going to heaven. Because if someone comes and takes you, you don't know where you're going because you have no idea. And even for me, I feel safe, like leaving this earth, I feel safe because it is written in Buddhism. It's like once you see emptiness, you are free from samsara. So at least I know I'm not going to hell, I'm not going to Satan's planet, I'm not going to Satan's firmament. I'm actually going to heaven because I have seen emptiness for myself. So it's safe for me as well. So so these things are all put they are part of our system and put in place for a reason because we are intelligent beings, and Father wants us to live and function in that way. So if a super powerful being comes here and he's like, let's go, and you basically don't have any choice because they're more powerful than you, they overpower you, and they basically take you because you don't have any choice and you don't know where you're going, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Satan, you don't know who it is. So but when I realize emptiness and when I realize sunyata, when I see sunyata and when I see emptiness, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to the right place, I'm going to heaven. So it is like we have to earn it and we have to see it and we have to do it. It's safe for us. It's based on intelligence. It's based on the Buddhist scriptures that has been, that is the authentic teaching of our Father in heaven, which is Lord Buddha, which is the authentic teaching of Buddha that has said these things. So it talks about all of these things in details of how you achieve your sunyata and what happens when you achieve your sunyata, because even when you achieve your sunyata and you have progressed really far in your journey and you have achieved your emptiness, but if you do not accept emptiness and you're afraid of everything collapsing, it's not going to work out. So you have to actually accept everything collapsing is okay. You have to accept that because you have to realize that this world is an illusion. So if you do not accept the collapsing as okay, that means you're holding on to deluded idea of positive, negative, deluded ideas. So you have to let go of negative emotion, let go of positive emotions, and let everything collapse. And that is sunyata. And once you have that, you can go to heaven according to how it is written in the Buddhist scriptures. So Buddhism is not a religion. It's actually how you attain a systematic process to realize sunyata, systematic process to realize emptiness, and free yourself from samsara. So a systematic process to realize emptiness, sunyata, zero, free yourself from samsara, and literally free yourself from the suffering world and go to heaven. So it's that. So it's a systematic process. So humanity will have to go through that. And obviously when we do a lot of work and we realize sunyata and emptiness and we give that, and it becomes a bit easier for the rest of the population to achieve that because like we have done the work. That's what we are born to do. That's what I'm born to do. So I was doing the Mother Tantra. So because the mainstream world is a channel ground, and the telepathic forces that I interact with, that's basically a channel ground as well. So the telepathic interface that we are part of, that's a channel ground as well, because it's filled with demons. It's filled with demons. Everyone's a demon. And I have been working within that demonic telepathic system, and I have been also working within the mainstream and unveiling that as well. That is like your channel ground. So within the telepathic interface, that's a channel ground, and the mainstream, that's a channel ground. And the Mother Tantra, which is the Cho practice, is practiced in a channel ground, and it is a form of exorcism. And you practice Cho, you practice the severance, in a channel ground. So my telepathic system, my telepathic interface, this telepathic world that I'm open to that is filled with demon, that's a channel ground. The mainstream is a channel ground. And I am here between these two worlds doing my cho practice and exercising everything to realize sunyata, rapture, and go to heaven, or to be freed from this samsaric world. That's what it means. And that's how I can say do this, because I'm actually proving it to you by actually going to heaven. Otherwise, I cannot say do this because I don't know if I'm being tricked by a demon. But I can say do this because I have realized sunyata. I have seen sunyata, I've seen emptiness, and I've realized emptiness. After I go to heaven, that will just be the next layer of confirmation, and then you can really follow the path, or you do not have a choice. For example, if people are the freedom mind controlled people, when they believe like, oh, what do you mean this is the only path? Dude, that's the only path. Like, for example, in nature, you do not complain about, like, what do you mean I have to drink water? What do you mean I have to drink water when I'm thirsty? Or why can't I have bread when I'm thirsty? Why do I have to drink water when I'm thirsty? You do not ask foolish questions like that. So it's the same thing. Spirituality is the same thing. Buddhism is the same thing. Don't ask foolish questions. Don't be brainwashed into your woke ideas of freedom. Don't do that. It's incorrect. If you're thirsty, you drink water. You do not eat bread. When you are practicing dharma based on wisdom, is because you have to overcome deception. So don't be woke and think, oh, I'm a Hebrew and I'm a Christian and I'm this and that, and we don't believe in this Buddhism. It doesn't work that way. Buddhism is a cure. It's a cure for a medicine called illusion, delusion. So we are living in this world of illusion and delusion, and Buddhism, emptiness, is the medicine for illusion, delusion. The great deception of Satan is overcome by the paramita wisdom. So it's a direct wisdom and ignorance. Delusion and sunyata. Delusion of right and wrong to emptiness. It's direct. So as you don't complain about drinking water when you're thirsty, you don't complain about this. It's the same thing. Just look at nature and look at how Father has designed nature. Buddhism is the same application. It's the application as nature. Like, you don't complain that you were born as a toddler. You don't complain that you were born as a child. You're like, why wasn't I born as an adult? I would have greater freedom as a child. You don't say that. You're just born as a child and you grow up and you learn, and one day you can have your freedom. So it's like that. So it's the same thing. So you don't complain about the natural system and the natural way of this world, which was designed by our Father. Buddhism is designed by our Father in heaven, and it has a direct spiritual application for what is required to enter heaven, what is required to overcome deception, what is required to break the strong black magic spell, and what is required to overcome the mark, which is sunyata, so emptiness. That's what you use. So these are direct cures for each other. So these are polarity forces. You can say opposition. So the mark of the beast is in opposition to sunyata. Financial technology is in opposition to sunyata, emptiness. Because financial technology wants to grasp everything. Sunyata wants to release and let go of everything. So it's direct. So it's like dancing, two opposite forces. And then you have deception of Satan, and you have Prajna Paramita's wisdom. They are two opposite forces dancing. So it's like deception and wisdom. So you have to understand it. Thirst and water, deception and wisdom, hunger and bread. Mark of the beast, financial technology, and sunyata, emptiness. It's the same thing. If you do that, and if you understand it that way, if this is all our Father's system, it is a system based on nature. If you believe in nature, if you believe in this whole earth system that we are part of. The spiritual system is part of the earth. That's a mental system. That's higher spiritual system, higher knowledge, higher understanding. Things that are very difficult to understand, we are simplifying and giving you the direct knowledge. And if you do that, you can go to heaven and you can live in the Christ age, because that is your fruit. As being a human being, we have been through a lot and we have not been allowed to live in peace. And we have had so much oppression, demonic oppression, satanic oppression, not ordinary oppression of corrupt people, but demonic, satanic oppression, telepathic oppression. So we have been through all of that. So the Christ age will allow you, give you some rest. The Christ age will give you your fruit and you can experience what God really is without Satan. Satan will be like imprisoned, or he'll be bound, so he cannot trick us. So he'll be bound somewhere, and so he cannot like play all these games with us and trick us and fool us and lead us astray, because he's bound. He's kept in one place, so we can openly experience the true nature of God, and we can openly experience the true nature of our beautiful earth, our spiritual earth that we live in. We haven't had a proper taste of this earth. We haven't had a proper taste of this creation, and we will get that opportunity in the Christ age. You have to follow the path that I have been, because it is the authentic path, it is the true path, it is the real path, it is the real system coming from our Father in heaven, and it will rapture you and take you to heaven if you follow the perfection of wisdom and sunyata, prajna paramita. If you follow that, you will rapture and go to heaven.